12 News at 10 starts right now. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Tonight, new developments in the case of a woman whose body was found in the western Arizona desert. Amanda Ninar called 911 and told the operator her exact GPS coordinates. But despite that, first responders still couldn't find her.
Tonight, a true crime YouTuber thinks that he knows why. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra also spoke with Ninar's friend, who never stopped searching for her and is here now with the story. Gabby?
Well, Mark Kribe, it was a family and friend who eventually found Amanda Ninar more than a month after she was first reported missing. Her loved ones tell me it shouldn't have taken that long.
This is really scary.
Lost in the middle of the Arizona desert, 26-year-old Amanda Ninar spent some of her last moments alive trying to explain to 911 operators where she was.
Well, it's okay. We're here. We're trying to figure out where you are, okay?
They tried, but ultimately never found her.
How could you leave someone there when they begging for help?
It's because they were looking in the wrong place. In the first 5 minutes of that 911 call, the operator tells Ninar how to find her coordinates using Google Maps.
Does it give you any kind of coordinates at all?
Yeah.
Okay, can you read those coordinates off to me?
He said those coordinates placed her near Blythe, California. But a true crime YouTuber, Gray Hughes, says the operator likely made a fatal flaw, writing down the coordinates in decimal degrees rather than degrees, minutes, seconds.
She gave out as her GPS coordinates. He came up with something 16 miles away over by Highway 95.
Hughes tells me by writing down the coordinates exactly how Ninar said it, he was able to place her in La Paz County. But by the time he became involved in the case, it was too late.
The car was right there. Then just right here was where she made the 911 call, right there, and then her body was found right there underneath a tree.
Despite the harsh desert terrain,
Even when I was out there, it made me take a few breaths, because you look at it and you're just like, how can somebody come out here and be found?
those who helped find Ninar believe all the clues were there from the start.
Do you think this mistake in writing it down cost Amanda her life?
Well, it's hard not to think it didn't.
And I asked a California Highway Patrol spokesperson about that 911 call. He told me at this time he has no information to give me. In studio, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
All right, Gabby, thank you. New tonight in Gilbert, we've learned the town's subcommittee created to address teen violence will present a report to the full council on April 16th. During tonight's council meeting, the members said that they have a full file of action items ready to present to town leaders that will hopefully curb violent incidents among teens. They said that the subcommittee meeting started with hearings from angry parents and families, but then that anger turned into ideas and now recommendations. The subcommittee was created in light of 16-year-old Preston Lord's death in neighboring Queen Creek, and it was revealed that Gilbert police had been responding to group-style assaults among teens for years.
Also developing tonight, Peoria police are investigating a shooting this morning that left a man dead. It happened near 83rd Avenue in Jefferson. Police tell us they found 33-year-old Jordan Gonzalez lying in the road with a gunshot wound. He died at the scene. Detectives are now investigating. They believe this was an isolated incident between two people who possibly knew each other. So far, no arrests have been made.
Now to Tucson, where University of Arizona President Robert Robbins announced today that he is stepping down when his contract ends. Robbins' contract isn't set to end until June of 2026, but in a statement, he said if the Board of Regents selects a new president earlier than that, he would step aside. Following the decision, the board said that it will begin a national search for Robbins' successor. The announcement comes as the university deals with a $177 million budget deficit. Last month, the board reduced the president's salary by 10% after the shortfall.
Time to check in with meteorologist Lindsay Riley. And Lindsay, would it be safe to say topsy-turvy describes our weather pattern right now?
It may not be a scientific term, but I think it describes it perfectly. We are going up and then down once again, roller coaster ride of temperatures. Today we topped out at 76. Tomorrow we make it to right where we should be this time of year, 83. Thursday is going to be on the hot side, reaching 89, and then the bottom drops out once again. By Saturday, we're down to 67, and we stay in the 70s heading into next week. Crystal clear skies across much of the desert Southwest. It's a beautiful evening. No rain threats, at least for now. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:12, and as you can see here, we start off completely clear as you head out the door tomorrow morning. 7 a.m., 57 degrees. By 9 a.m., we're up to 63. For the rest of the day, midday, we hit 74. Sunshine through the afternoon and highs right around 82 to 83. We warm up even more from there, and then we're tracking our next storm system. More on that coming up in your full forecast. Mark?
All right, Lindsay, thanks. In world news tonight, it's now Wednesday in Taiwan, where a 7.4 magnitude earthquake has rocked that country's eastern coast. We've learned that at least 4 people were killed in what was the country's strongest quake in almost 25 years. Tsunami warnings in both Taiwan and Japan have been downgraded, with the U.S. National Tsunami Warning Center adding that the west coast of the U.S. is not in any danger. We'll keep you posted on any new developments as we learn more.
Now to Decision 2024 and a key milestone for the campaign to put the right to an abortion on the Arizona Constitution. The Arizona for Abortion Access Coalition announced today that it's collecting petition signatures from 508,000 voters to put the amendment on the November ballot. The constitutional amendment would create a fundamental right to an abortion until 24 weeks of pregnancy, which used to be the standard under Roe versus Wade. After that point, abortion would be legal only if a doctor says it's needed to protect the woman's life or physical or mental health. The initiative's opponents argue that the amendment is too broad, allowing for unregulated and unlimited abortion.
New at 10, a wild case continues to evolve surrounding a controversial Phoenix restaurant, and more specifically, its owner. The I-Team first brought you the story 2 years ago when the restaurant's owner was arrested and then sent to prison for stealing money from an NBA player's ex-wife. Now we're learning the restaurant owner could get out of prison earlier than expected. 12 News journalist Erica Stapleton has been covering this story since 2021 and has the new details.
Restaurant owner Tracy Atzona asked the judge for a reduced prison sentence, in part because her restaurant could be struggling. And I do want to warn our viewers that there will be profanity in this story because of the restaurant's name. She asked for less time in prison.
I can't take it back.
And Tracy Atzona got it. A federal judge granting the Phoenix restaurant owner's request for a reduced prison sentence, changing it from 51 months to 42 months. Atzona owns Breakfast Bitch, a hot spot in the Roosevelt Row area that opened in 2020, before she went behind bars. She surrendered to prison in March of last year after taking a plea deal for wire fraud, admitting she stole more than $1 million from actress Jumana Kidd, NBA star Jason Kidd's ex-wife. Atzona used to be her assistant despite her history, having been convicted of a federal fraud scheme once before. Atzona sat down exclusively with the I-Team just hours before she surrendered to prison this time.
You know, I did apologize, and I am remorseful.
The reduction comes amid concerns for Breakfast Bitch. In February, the restaurant's landlord took steps toward eviction, saying in court paperwork the restaurant was behind more than a month in rent and owed more than $27,000. A few weeks later, the complaint was dismissed. An attorney for the landlord declined to comment. Still, in Atzona's letter to the judge in early March, she said her daughter was trying to keep things afloat, but the company is, quote, struggling without her leadership. She said they already had to close the San Diego location and that she was worried about the Phoenix spot, noting she at one point employed about 130 people. The U.S. Attorney's Office wrote a letter asking the judge to deny her request for a reduced sentence, calling Atzona a serial fraudster, referring to her past conviction. Yet the judge granted it, citing a change in sentencing guidelines that were amended last year, plus her good behavior in prison. In an email, Atzona's daughter told us in part that the rent issue was, quote, greatly exaggerated and has since been resolved. She added that the restaurant is in capable hands and they've maintained financial stability. Atzona's release date is listed for 2026. Instead of serving a sentence, she hopes to be back serving people at her restaurant, as she vowed last year.
I'll be back, bitches. Hopefully stronger than ever.
In Phoenix, Erica Stapleton, 12 News.